Today I'm going to share with you a 4-step method that I know from experience will help you to expand your active vocabulary. By active vocabulary, I mean vocabulary that we can use spontaneously when we speak. A quick reminder to download my mini guide on how to become a confident English speaker through different listening activities. Okay, let me start by telling you what I think is not the best way to improve your active vocabulary, and that is reading. Many of us think that reading is the best way to expand our vocabulary. There are 2 reasons for this. We start learning English at school through reading and translation. This becomes a habit. Also, most of us have a better visual memory than an auditory memory, so we think that we will remember a new word better if we see it written down. Now, of course, reading expands our passive vocabulary and will improve our reading comprehension and maybe also our writing skills. But it will not help us with our listening and speaking skills at all. Let's see why with an example. Let's say you read this sentence in a book and you don't know the underlined word. This will put our economic growth in new word, and therefore it's a danger we cannot ignore. From the context, you can easily figure out that this new word means danger. Let's say you like this word and decide to learn it. So you write it down on a flashcard or in your notebook, and you write its translation in your own language next to it, the way you learned to do it at school. So what is the problem? Pronunciation. To pronounce a new English word correctly, you need to know 2 things. Firstly, which syllable takes the stress. And secondly, how each vowel is pronounced. Because in English, each vowel letter produces different vowel sounds. For example, letter E can be pronounced in 4 different ways. It can be pronounced as E, redo. It can be pronounced as I, repeat. It can be pronounced as E, sent. And it can also be pronounced as absent. So let's now see how this new word is pronounced. First, we have to decide where the stress is. In this word, the stress is on the first syllable. Then we need to find out what the letter E sounds like. Is it E or I or It is E. And now in this word, the letter O is silent. So the pronunciation of this word is jeopardy. Jeopardy. Now, your pronunciation doesn't have to be perfect, but if you mispronounce a word completely, for example, if you say jeopardy, you will not be able to hear this word when others say it, and others won't be able to understand you when you say it. So what is a better way of expanding your active vocabulary? Here's the 4-step method I would recommend. Step 1. Listen first. Choose a topic you're interested in. Find a YouTube clip or a podcast or an audiobook on that topic. Listen to it without subtitles once, just to get familiar with the context. Step 2. Listen and read. Listen again, this time with the subtitles on or with the text in front of you. When you hear and see a new word you'd like to learn, stop. Write it on a flashcard. Step 3. Practice pronunciation. When you've collected about 5 interesting new words, go to an online dictionary. Listen and repeat each word several times. Then write its pronunciation also on your flashcard. You can use the symbols in the dictionary or you can create your own symbols. And finally, step 4, a very important step, choose an example sentence. Copy one good example sentence from the dictionary on the back of your flashcard. And make sure that you underline the other important words too. For example, in our sentence, this will put our economic growth in jeopardy. The other important words are put, the verb, and in, the preposition. So you want to learn put in jeopardy as a collocation. This is a really important step in allowing you to create correct sentences with this new word. Of course, with this method, you will learn fewer new words in the time that you spend studying, but you will be able to use these new words reflexively when you speak. You will change from a passive learner of vocabulary to an active explorer of vocabulary, and this will make you a much more confident speaker. To finish, I've got a little homework for you. Here are 3 other words that you can go and explore this method with. Have fun! You will change from a passive vocabulary You will change from a passive vocabulary. I can't now say vocabulary. You will change from a passive vocabulary. You will change from a passive vocabulary, Lana. I can't. It's impossible. Vocabulary. You say vocabulary learner.
Vocabulary learner.
Yeah, okay.